got to learn from him, but the time does not permit us to go further because he has to go to give a Jummah Khutbah in the mosque. So now let's have few questions from the audience, just few questions. So we have any clarifications and making sure that the questions are asked only on the particular topic. Is there any questions from the non-Muslim brothers and sisters? We would like to give the preference to the non-Muslim brothers and sisters. Do they have any questions on the issue? Any questions?
Doctor,
anyhow,
related to your subject, I have, you're talking about the common law and all. What is my point about secular law? I need some clarifications more. For instance, if you take Sri Lanka, among the Asian countries, the constitution says the particular religion is a state religion. When we go now, at the same time, when you take India, it says it is a secular. The constitution says secular government. When we go with the secular, we have find a lot of violations against the minorities. When we go with the countries, when it says the religion is a state religion, but the facilities for the minorities are more certain places, countries. My point is, even some Muslim countries declaring religion as a state religion, but there are also violations for the other minorities. So when we compare these, what kind of suggestion you can give when we are comparing with Sri Lanka? Okay, religion is a state religion, okay, it is Buddhism. I feel personally, so I need more clarifications. Okay, we minorities accepting the majority religion as a state religion, and when we work for rights of our, or enjoying our rights as a minorities, it will be more helpful to build up inter-community relationship, or to come out with our rights before the law, please.
This question is very interesting, and have you heard the question? If I'm mistaken in summary, let me know. The notion of secular state versus state religion and the issue of rights of minorities and so on, and how do we compare these, right? Well, it's a very interesting one because, the motto goes, the issue is not the titles or names, the issue is that of ethics. And sometimes we keep saying secular state versus quote-unquote religious state, or a state that has an official state religion. And you find that proponent and opponent keep shooting at one another. Some people would say secular or secularism is the ultimate solution, so that all religious minorities can get. The issue to me really is what's happening under that title. If we mean, for example, by a state that says the majority religion, X or Y religion is the state religion, only in terms of like formalities or protocols, that does not infringe on the freedom, religious freedom of other religious minorities, I would be very much perturbed by that. In fact, if we use the term Islamic, many countries say Islam is the state religion. If it is used in the proper sense that I have explained, there is built in being Islamic, being observant to the rights of minorities with a stronger motivation than what the secular law provides, fear of God. You get my point? And others, it's not like some people say, if that becomes an Islamic state, that means that you're going to persecute everybody who's not a Muslim. That's not far from true. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, says that if anyone hurts a dhimmi, means a covenanted non-Muslim living under Islamic rule, if anybody hurts a covenanted person, minority, or took from him anything without his own volition or agreement, then I, being the Prophet of Islam, I will be the advocate for who? For the Muslim? No, I be the advocate for that oppressed minority in front of God against the Muslim. The Prophet of Islam says, I'll be against the Muslim who oppresses and commits unfairness. So to me, if we understand Islam in its spirit, and if those who implement, not claim to implement Sharia, that's the difference. Not those who claim to implement Sharia, except when it comes to themselves and their own cronies. If indeed Islam is implemented properly, a Muslim will be more sensitive and respectful to the rights of minorities than a secular person, because he fears Allah. Because in secularity, you don't believe, sometimes that fear of God is not there, so you respect their rights if it suits you, but if there is another, agenda, you might not be as respectful. So to me, even if you say Islamic State in the proper sense, it protects the rights of minority more than secular. I proved that already. I said, in America, in Canada, you don't have an independent body to deal or rule as a court order in matters of marriage, divorce, for a proper, custody and similar. And under Islam you can. Which one is more right, even in the 21st century? The old one, that sometimes you think that old laws are relevant. In fact, it's fresher because it's divine in its nature. If we mean by religious states like that protocol, but preserving the rights of minorities, let people practice their faith. But those who say the ultimate solution is in secularism, I beg to disagree with this. Because sometimes you use the term secular loosely. I humbly submitted in a lecture in London. I wasn't aware even that somebody used that term before until a specialist in political science told me that this also is an emerging expression. That there is a difference between secularity, secularism, and what I call secular fundamentalism. And when we talk about protection of laws, secularity itself, that is, religion becomes a private matter in a multicultural, multi-ethnic, so the state does not support religion, but does not fight against religion. That's the way. You're not oppressing other religions, but you're not supporting public funds to channel to one religion or the other. Okay? To me, for the situation specifically of Muslim minorities, that's good for them. That's good for them. You cannot impose Islamic law on a country that is not majority Muslim. So that's sensible. So secularity guarantees them their full freedom, even though the state professes itself to be non-religious. That's okay. You can live with that. But when secularity becomes secularism, it becomes an ideology. It becomes an end in itself. And becomes, even though it's not called as such, it's another religion. So we come to a religious state. What is the religion of the state? Secularism. We worship, secular. That means beginning to infringe on people's rights because it is a secular country, and in our view, in our religion of secularism, in our religion, I call it, of secularism, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable, so I don't care about your religious feeling. Religion has nothing to do with the state. But more dangerous is when even secularism, which becomes an ideology, and end in itself, becomes secular fundamentalism. People just talk about religious fundamentalism. There is secular fundamentalism. We see it in the worst application in France today. Dictating to Muslim women and Muslim girls going to school or university what to wear or not to wear. For God's sake, what secularity has to do with this? No, it's offensive. Why offensive? You don't get offensive of a woman walking in a bikini in the street or on the beach, and you get offended because a woman had a scarf? Which means, again, applying their own standard of what is appropriate or acceptable on everybody else, even if it deprives them from their religious rights. That I call secular fundamentalism. And by the way, it's not only in France. It has been in Turkey since Ataturk. It has been practiced and is being practiced to some degree in Tunisia. At one time, in other countries. It's almost like punishment. You're forbidden from getting a job because you have a scarf. That's the worst. So to me, again, the term of secularity as secular society as the panacea is not correct. So it depends what we mean actually by what. I'm sorry, it depends that because your question stimulated me even on the spot to make this sort of comparison. It's what happened actually. The respect of rights is the criterion for evaluation or comparison. Thank you, sir.
No problem. in Sri Lanka here,